What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Sydney, aka a shawty that reads. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on future literary content. In today's video, I'm gonna be doing a book haul. So I'm really excited. I got me a couple of books the other day at the bookstore, so I'm gonna be sharing them with you, my thought process, all of that. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, so I'm new to like the whole booktube, bookstagram, book talk, what have you, right? Like I just be buying books as I feel and I just read them as I feel. So the whole like idea of a TBR pile or a to be read is just like nuts to me because I'm like emotionally like this, and reading is an emotional experience for me. So I can't have like a list of books and say like, okay, I'm gonna read this one next and this one next and this one next. So whenever I do a book haul, like these are all books that I'm very interested in reading, but like honestly, who the hell knows when I'm gonna get to them? Like I've been reading books like a year later. Like I buy books, wait a year, read the ones I read last year, and then the process continues. So I don't, maybe like I'm just crazy or the TBR thing is crazy. I don't know. Okay, first book, when I saw this, I had to have it. I saw it, I said, I'm gonna buy that. I don't even care what it's about. It is Yoke by Jessamyn Stanley, my yoga of self-acceptance. So I'm like, of course I'm gonna buy this because there is a black girl on the cover and we're talking about yoga. I used to be an avid hot yoga goer, and I just can't wait to read this book because she touches on how yoga is saturated with whiteness. We all know it, we all see it, let's talk about it, okay? It's just what it is. She talks about how we have to take what we learn and practice on the mat outside of that. So self-acceptance both on and off the mat. When I first started yoga, to be quite honest with you, I was not very spiritually aware at all. I would go to my yoga class. I would literally think in my head, okay, this is my 1 hour of meditation. And then I would leave and go do whatever it is the hell that I was doing that was making me vibrate really low, right? And I'm starting to realize now with the self-help books that I'm reading that there's so much work that you have to do on a daily basis, day in, day out, constantly. So I like that she's talking about that in this book. It's a collection of essays. I like that style if you're a good writer especially, and it seems like she is. I really love reading essays. So it says they're essays exploring everything from imposter syndrome to cannabis to why it's a full-time job loving yourself, all through the lens of yoke. So in Sanskrit, yoga means to yoke, which is why that's the title. So very, very, very excited to read this one. Next, I picked up A Girl is a Body of Water by Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi. This is a fiction novel. It's very long. I haven't read a book that's over like 350 pages in a long time. So I saw this and I'm like, I was in the mood for like a long fiction novel. And Tayari Jones, author of An American Marriage, wrote, I loved every single page. So it just kind of took me back to like my Harry Potter days as a kid. I hope that's what this book gives me. But I bought it because it's based off Ugandan folklore. It seems like this girl is growing up in a very matriarchal society that reminded me of the way that I grew up a little bit. But the back of the book, the synopsis, basically says it's a sweeping testament to the true and lasting connections between history, tradition, family, friends, and the promise of a different future. It sounds like there's a little bit of like magic going on too. So I'm excited to read this. And I really love the title, A Girl is a Body of Water. I really love water. I feel so connected to water. I feel so at peace when I'm like near the ocean, what have you. So that's really what pulled me towards the book. And I hope I get that like calm, refreshed feeling that I'm feeling like I'm gonna get. Excuse me. Third book, The House of Deep Water by Jeni McFarland. I bought this book because I was drawn to the cover. It's beautiful. And then on the back, it says, what if going home is what you want the most and the least? It's about 3 women who can't wait to escape their home of Riverbend, Michigan. Doesn't that just sound like a small ass town? Okay, I get it. But the book is basically about how they all can't wait to escape, but they eventually all have to come back, and how you find inner peace and, you know, comfort and all that. You know, home is where the heart is. That's what I'm getting from this. So I like that, because I think a lot of us tend to try to escape things or places, things, people, and sometimes we need to face them. So that's how I'm looking at it without having read it yet. So I'm excited to see what it's actually about. Okay. But it says the House of Deep Water explores motherhood, trauma, love, loss, and new beginnings found in a most unlikely place, home. Won't he do it? Fourth book, Black Sunday by Tola, Rotimi, Abraham. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. It's been on my list. I just hadn't purchased it yet. But this is about twin sisters and their two younger siblings who are thrust into the reluctant care of their traditional Yoruba grandmother because their parents' marriage is falling apart. So once that happens, the twins kind of separate. So I was interested in this because I really like coming of age stories, and I like stories that show how innocent and great everything is during adolescence, and then you start growing up, and you start, you know, becoming a little bit of an adult, and then a full-grown adult, and shit starts to change. And I like following stories like that. So I'm interested to read it. I always like reading the little quotes on the front. Sarah Jessica Parker said it left her reeling and in awe. So we'll see, Sarah. Okay, fifth book is The Beauty in Breaking, a memoir by Michele Harper. I've really been wanting to read this one for a long time. It was this close to winning for Shawty's book club one of the months, I can't remember. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it on my own. Michele Harper is an African-American emergency room physician in a profession that is overwhelmingly male and white. That already is interesting in its own. But the book, it seems as a whole, is about how we recognize the breaks that we have physically, emotionally, psychically, how we try to mend them, and how we move on are all crucial parts of the healing process. So when I picked it up, I was like, this sounds very self-help. This doesn't sound like a memoir, but when you look at the category, it does say memoir / inspiration. So I really like when you can get like a little 2-in-1, and it sounds like we're gonna get that here. But I can't wait. I really can't wait for this one. Sixth and final book I picked up is The Beautiful by Renée, Ahdieh. So I picked it up because it says, it's true, vampires are back and they're more seductive than ever. I believe this is a YA fiction book. I'm like pretty sure. I've read about 30 pages and it like feels very YA. I don't love it yet, but I'm definitely like not bored. I think I just have to like get into the story a little bit more. But it says, in 1872, New Orleans is a city ruled by the dead, but to 17-year-old Celine Rousseau, New Orleans is a safe haven after she's forced to flee her life as a dressmaker in Paris. So it's interesting, it's cute. It's, you know what, I just needed like a replacement for Twilight, honestly. Okay, I've been needing a replacement, and this is gonna be a series, so I hope I like it. Normally, I give books about 80 pages. If I don't like it by page 80, then I'm probably gonna be done with it. So, wish me luck. To recap, these are the 6 books that I picked up in my book haul. They're so pretty. I love all the colors that I got. That's always satisfying when you have like a cute book aesthetic book stack. Anyway, per usual, like always, I will leave a link in the description for every book mentioned so you guys can purchase them if you would like. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to take your sea moss.